Bigjoseph.
What's up, listeners? And today we're here with the first banger. I said what? Banger. And today we're gonna, have some fun with this. So, to introduce myself first, my name is Matthew Joseph III. I am obviously a third. This is, my first podcast, first of many. We're gonna, have some fun with it. So today we'll be talking about Thomas Paine and his work, Common Sense, and the impact and different things it did for, different things. So Thomas Paine was born in Thetford, England, in January 29th, 1736. And he died at the age of 72 in New York on June 8th, 1809. He had, a very weird upbringing to, the Thomas Paine that everybody knows today. He never stick to a job, or he never excelled at a job, or he never stayed too long at a job either. Growing up, he had, many jobs all the way till he got to, becoming a journalist. He was he dropped it first off. He dropped out of school, or he failed out of school at age 12. And he was a tax officer. And he also, worked on a boat. He tried to, join the army. He just wasn't successful at any of this. And then, the genre or style of writing that he chose, or what he is associated with, is American history nonfiction. And his style was, very plain, simplistic, and, very easy to understand. Because he was trying to get people to understand what was going on around them, even though the government wasn't gonna tell them. So he was trying to give them an easy way to understand it all. So Thomas Paine was a very revolutionary dude. He always wanted to let the people know what was going on, and that's what he covered pretty much in all his works. He always tried to, let people know what was going on. His different works were The Rights of Men, Officers of Excise, which is dealing with his work when he was a tax officer. He wrote that in 1772. He had the book, the pamphlet Common Sense in 1776, and he also wrote The American Crisis in 1776 to 83, and he also had The Age of Reasoning 1794 to 1796. Thomas Paine was, very well known, especially if you took social studies. And especially his work, Common Sense. Because, if you haven't, took social studies or some type of U.S. history, you probably haven't heard of him. But if you, go to school in America or something like that, you probably heard of it. He's very famous within, America. Even though later on in his life, he, all his work got pushed aside, or he wasn't looked at the same just because he wrote about or gave his opinion about his religious beliefs, and that pretty much left him he pretty much died alone because of that, because people didn't agree with his beliefs based on his religion. So that was some of the things people said about him and stuff like that, and somebody said Thomas Paine's words were instrumental to the success of the evolution. And his famous pamphlet, Common Sense, predated the Declaration of Independence and laid out the argument for a break with Great Britain. So I believe if we did not have his work, I don't know if we would, if we would have, pursued the revolution so fastly. I think we would have waited. It would have been a longer time. It would have been a longer time. So, and, yeah. So, but the work we will be focusing on in this podcast is, or discussing, is his book, The Common Sense. I pretty much summed up his genre as American history nonfiction, and Common Sense was published in 1776. So a brief summary of the work, the work is Common Sense challenged the authority of the British government and the royal monarchy. The plain language that Paine used spoke to the common people of America and was the first work to openly ask for independence from Great Britain. Yeah, he was definitely, British. The British definitely wasn't one of his number one fans, but George Washington loved his pamphlet, and it was talked about among the Americas, and sparked the revolution. George Washington said, he wrote a letter to a friend, "I find that the common sense is working a powerful change there in the minds of many men. Few pamphlets have had so dramatic an effect on political events." So it was very much talked about, and it's still talked about to this day. It's probably gonna be talked about for forever, dealing with the American history. So the main themes or takeaways from the work is that it challenged the authority of the British government in the royal monarchy. The cultural movement, the cultural movement that it fits into is the revolution of the Americas trying to get their independence from, they trying to become independence from England. They trying to become self-governing because they're dealing, they're relying on Britain to send supplies because they over here stuck, and if they don't get supplies, they're gonna be struggling. So why not just let us, be self-governing and let us control or get anything we need from us, and and y'all stop, controlling. Like they had the tea tax, and they was trying to tax these crazy taxes on simple things that people needed, which was insane. So that is, that really pushed the pre-American people to want to be independent from them. And Thomas Paine is a very, very big dude dealing with the revolution. And without him, it probably would have been like I already said, it probably would have been a slow process to becoming America. Thank you for listening to this week's podcast. Next week, we will be discussing George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and their impact on the American Revolution. Thank you for listening once again. Y'all have a blessed day. Go America.